Good morning, I'm Al Lippman, Mayor of Mesquite. This month is Suicide Prevention Month, and we haven't talked much about it anywhere, but I've been reading a number of articles. I do want to talk a little about this subject this morning. Growing up it was considered very taboo, and when you talked about it, it was usually in whispers. Recently, I was appointed to the Governor's Commission on Veterans and Family Suicide Prevention. I suggested we take this further and involve all families, whether they're veterans or not, and definitely our youth. Our young people are under a lot of stress. Some blame it on COVID and the time they spent out of school. It's a lot more than that. There are numerous stressors that affect the mental health of our children. One of the myths about suicidal talk or actual suicidal attempts in young people is that they're just a bid for attention or a cry for help. Kids who talk or write about killing themselves are often dismissed as overly dramatic. Obviously, they don't mean it, but a threat of suicide should never be dismissed. Responding to the threats and warning signs, we must do this in a thoughtful manner. They don't automatically mean a child is going to attempt suicide, but it's a chance you can't take. There are a number of risk factors that every parent and friend should be aware of. We know that mental health services in Nevada are lacking. There's no doubt about that. In fact, I believe we're near the bottom of the list when it comes to available services in mental health, and particularly for our children. But there is a program that can help, and it's called the Children's Mobile Crisis Response Team. This is a statewide program for youth and their families who are experiencing a behavioral health crisis. I'll tell you a little bit about what they do. Mobile Crisis Response Team, the MCRT, supports youth and families who want immediate help for any mental health, behavioral health situation or crises with a child or adolescent in any community in the state of Nevada. Crisis is different and unique for every youth and family. It may include concerns such as suicidal thoughts, self-harming behaviors, anxiety, depressed mode, anger and aggression, bullying, drug and alcohol, or any presenting concerns for which a youth or family wants immediate assessment, support, and interventions. The mobile response uses a team approach of a clinician and a case manager who will complete an assessment, provide immediate support and crisis interventions, short-term stabilization, and case management services if necessary. The responses and the stabilization services are provided in the family's location of choice when possible, and may be in a community setting, a home, or possibly through phone or video telehealth. Okay. I'll give you the number now, in fact, on that. It's a hotline number, and it's 702-486-7865. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'll repeat the number, 702-486-7865. Okay. I went down the list and tried to find a number of what we call protective factors with children. And I'm going to go through a few of them with you today. Good problem-solving abilities. Kids who are able to see a problem and figure out effective ways to management, to resolve conflicts in nonviolent ways, are at a lower risk. Okay. Relatively easy access to appropriate clinical intervention, whether it be psychotherapy, individual, group, or family therapy or medication is needed. And that's the mobile crisis response team I told you about. So what do you do if your child fits the profile of somebody at risk for suicide? Warning signs of suicide to be alert to include changes in personality or behavior that might not obviously be related to suicide. When a teenager becomes sad or more withdrawn, more irritable, anxious, tired, or apathetic, things that used to be fun aren't fun anymore, you should be concerned. Changes in sleep patterns or eating habits can also be a red flag. Acting erratically or recklessly is also a warning sign. If a teen starts making really poor judgments, or they start doing things that are harmful to themselves or other people, like bullying or fighting, it could be a sign they are spinning out of control. And finally, if a child is talking about dying, you should always pay attention. You hear sometimes, I wish I was dead, or I just want to disappear. Maybe I should just jump off a building. Maybe I should shoot myself. You'd all be better off if I wasn't around. When you hear this kind of talk, it's important to take it seriously, even if you can't imagine your child ever meaning this seriously. Again, if any of this occurs, please call the Mobile Crisis Response Team 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 702-486-7865. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.